Hello, everybody. I'm Nathaniel Alic-Ander, and this is Beyond the Gates Review, episode 112. Okay, so I've been gone for a second because I'm having problems uploading. They're saying the videos are too long. It became very extremely frustrating, so I had to give it a break. Yeah, it was bad. So, but I'm back, and I had to come back because I watched the show today, and it was so good. I was like, you know what? I'm going to start again. So let's get into it. Anita and Vernon were at the country club, and Ted was with them watching Nicole and his partner have dinner or breakfast or lunch or whatever. I don't know, but they were eating. And so Ted was upset about it and was going to make his way over to the table, but Anita told him to sit down. And basically, Vernon gave him a talking to about him pursuing Nicole and that she's over it, and that's why she's gotten the divorce papers delivered to him and she's ready to move on. But then they turned around, him and Anita, and said basically, if you want her back, you got to fight for her. So I was like, okay, well, they're not totally against Ted. I mean, they're willing to work with him and they want him to fight for Nicole. So I thought that was um, out of the blue because, especially with Anita, she seemed very angry, rightfully so, with Ted, but she was behind it. And he tried to go over and talk to Nicole, and he interrupted their date. And she talked to him a bit and told him basically he needs to move on. And, you know, she's right because, I mean, if she's ready to move on and she's dating his partner, which she wasn't too upset about, I'm quite sure that'll be coming as they get to know each other more and actually start to date. But I'm surprised that his partner is so bold with it because that's his partner's current wife, and he don't think it's going to cause any problems. But I knew the way he was sniffing around Nicole that it was going to happen. I knew it. I could tell he was interested in her a couple of weeks ago. I even said it in a couple of videos. But I'd like them together. Um, I wish Nicole and Ted would get back together. But I mean, I think this would be a good man for her and a good romance for us to watch. And the love triangle alone is saying everything. So that's pretty much what happened with them. So let's move on to Eva and her crazy ass mama ducking these people because she think they're trying to scam her. And but yeah, this. And so Eva got tired of it and left. And so she met up with Tomas, although I don't think they were meeting up on purpose. She just ran into him at the nightclub. I'm not sure what it's called. And he was telling her about Kat and their dance lesson and all that stuff. But Kat and Tomas did it again. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's not a compatible lover with her or if he's not a good lover. I'm not sure because he was struggling to dance well with her until the instructor stepped in and basically challenged him. So I don't know if he don't have the moves. I don't know if it's just her inexperience with sex or if I mean because she's new to it. So I mean she might not be sure what she likes and what she doesn't like. I mean to do things in practice is not the same thing in theory. You can think all you want and you can have these fantasies, but that doesn't add up to reality. So maybe she's just not sure what she likes, but I feel like she has a disdain for Tomas. Like she thinks the problem is him and he's doing something wrong, but she's not being specific about what he's doing and not doing because he's willing to try. He said, we can try different moves. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with her. Is it her expectations? Is it the fact that he's just not meeting her on the level that she's at? Has she held on to her virginity so long that she's romanticized sex and it's not matching up? I don't know. But that's pretty much it on that. I do hope they figure it out, and you know, I do think that it's different because I've always wondered why they always have the best lovers on soap operas. Nobody's ever uh, lacking. Everybody's the sex is always so great. So it's nice to see a storyline where the sex is not so great, and it has that's the problem in a relationship. Everything else is good except the sex. That's realistic. That's real life. So it's nice to see that storyline put in there. So now we're going to move on to the more juicier parts of the episode, which is June, Tyrell, Samantha, Smitty, Naomi, and Martin all meeting up. June finally met her kids. I mean, they are not disappointing this week. She got to meet her kids, and I was so happy about that. And I'm happy they got to express how they felt to her a little bit. I mean, they kept cutting Tyrell off because he was angry, but he would be. I mean, who wouldn't be? But I'm glad that she got a chance to tell them the story, and that she was the one that called and got them taken away on purpose because she knew she couldn't do a good job. And I'm glad that she changed up her look because she went from Junebug, is what I call her, because when she first came on, she was like her character from Good Times. So that's why I gave her the nickname Junebug, because it was just a little outdated, her acting and the character itself. But she's turned into June, and she's talking, she's making sense. And it makes sense now because she's had the drugs out of her system. So now she's able to understand things and probably not pay for anything with Monopoly money anymore. So it's nice to see her with all her wits. And I'm glad she reconciled with her sister. Now she's living with her sister. And they're making the character more stable. And I think that it's going to be great for the storyline with the kids because now she's going to be involved in their lives. I wonder about Third Daddy, which is their biological daddy. That's what I'm calling him, Third Daddy. And I'm wondering, are they going to write him in? Is that going to be problematic? Is that going to be a storyline coming up in the future? And how that's going to pan out with them having a biological dad, with Smitty and Martin being their fathers. But I'm glad June got a chance to tell them that she thought about them. She rubbed their picture raw because it was a glimmer of hope for her and got her through her days, even though she didn't remember. I'm glad she told them that she didn't remember, but she's gotten her memory back and that they were wanted. And she acted really well. She was very polite, very understanding. She paid tribute to their parents. She told them this is what she wanted when she did what she did to have, for them to have a great life. And Samantha seems open. She wants to be a part of June's life. You can tell she wants to know where she comes from, and her being a girl is probably especially important to her to have a relationship with her mother because she doesn't have a female figure like a mother in her life. She has her cousins and her grandmother and her aunties, and they are more than welcome and capable of filling that for her. But I think it's a little different because her mother is out there and her mother is capable of doing it now. So I think I have hopes for the future. It's going to take some work with Tyrell. He's the oldest. He remembers more, and that makes sense. So he's going to be a little angry, and he was the baby boy, and that's her first child. So first children always have a special bond with their parents. So it's going to be harder for her because he was hurt the most, but he probably needs it the most because he needs to heal that in himself. And I hope that June stays on the straight and narrow and is capable of doing that. And I hope the auntie gets a chance to get involved in their lives because I think that would be great. She seems to really love them. Now let's move on to Leslie, who got a surprise from her mother. Hello, I mean, like what? That came out of nowhere, and they seem to have a cantankerous relationship, but they seem to work it out and started joking with each other, and they missed each other and all this stuff. and she was trying to help the people that are on the phone calling Dana to get in touch with her. And so it was good to see that Dana has a past and might explain why she is where she is. But they also talked about her stealing her mother's dude, which I'm not surprised. And Dana, of course, is not taking responsibility. Talking about you need to thank me and all that stuff. Pure Dana. But the kicker is that's not her real mother. Now, I'm quite sure I'm not the only one that figured this out, or I don't even know if I figured it out because I don't know if it's true or not, but has this theory that Barbara is her mother, and the money they're trying to give to Dana and find her so they can give it to her is the money that Anita has been sending to Barbara's family. Yeah, I think that's Barbara's child. And I think there's going to be some problems and repercussions when she finds out that Anita has something to do with her mother's death. But that's the only reason I can think of this windfall, this money, because Anita mentioned the other day that she sent another donation to the family. She was telling Danny, I believe. And so, so I believe this is Barbara's daughter, but we'll see. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and comment as well. And again, I'm sorry for it being such a time in between videos. I was very frustrated, and hopefully it'll go better this time. And all right, thank you for tuning in. Much love. Bye bye.